What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the debut episode of the Pat and Dan Show. We've been waiting to do this for so long, and Dan, here we are, episode 1. How we doing?
Bro, I'm doing fantastic, man. Like you said, this is long awaited, man. I'm pumped, bro.
Very
Pumped
long
to be
awaited,
here, bro.
highly anticipated. Appreciate everybody for stopping by for episode 1. Hope
But
everyone
can we
enjoyed
address the
their
elephant
day
in the
so
room,
far.
bro? Because somebody already mentioned
Let's
it.
address it. No, Dan, you could address it because I know what route.
Assuming we're on the same topic here, somebody said mullet Dan, and yes, that is true because this is the best hair pod. Not pod. This isn't a podcast. This is the show. Danny Boy got a mullet now. What do you think? What do you think, bro?
Listen,
You already complimented on me, so you gotta.
No, yeah, you called me before. You were like,
did.
bro, I got a haircut. Because, I think you mentioned it to me, last week that you want to do it. I was like,
It's been
bro, go for
highly
it.
in consideration, and you can't tell from the front. So, at first, if people don't follow me on Twitter, you don't see automatically that I have a mullet. But then you see from, the side, bro.
But, Dan, I told you this, right before we went live. Okay, we're going to get into Yankee topics, by the way. But, listen, just hear me out here. I think that the mullet now confirms the fact that we have the best hair duo in, the history of, content creation, bro. Name a duo that has better hair than us combined.
Bro, at least by default in the Yankee community, because we were saying this before, everybody else basically got crew cuts. What we used to have.
Oh, yeah.
We're the only people, for real, I think we're the only people that do have long hair in the Yankee community. And probably the whole MLB community. So
yeah, you love to
good
see
start,
it.
bro.
Good
start.
But listen, before we get into anything, let's just kind of address the debut episode, kind of what the Pat and Dan show is going to be. As you guys know, it's going to be Monday and Thursday, either at 9 p.m. like today on an off day, or we're going to be doing it after the Yankees game. So Thursday is actually a 1:00 game. So I guess we're going to be doing it.
I didn't even know that
on Thursday. Yeah, it's going to be interesting as far as that goes. But yeah, we're just going to be doing the same type of content that you guys usually see when Dan comes on here. Except now we have our own show. So let's go. You guys know the topic of discussion for today is Gary Sanchez's resurgence. Is he back for good, right? Because we saw the ridiculous season that Gary Sanchez had in 2020 for the worse, right? And now he's kind of had a complete 180 as far as his career goes. But before we do get too into Gary Sanchez, I want to bring up a donation from Andrew Allen. Shout out to Andrew. Andrew is the man.
Andrew, the man, bro. I got to shout out Andrew Allen, bro, every time he submits something in.
Andrew's
this
the
dude
man.
has helped me out so much, bro, with Yankees Avenue. And
Andrew's the man.
You're the man, bro. You're the man.
He says, let's get it, boys. Congrats on the new show, bro. It's going to be unstoppable.
This does feel legit, bro. I feel like we're on ESPN, don't it? Especially with
ESPN.
Oh, 100%. I mean, ESPN just went down the tube, so it ain't hard to do.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
But kind of going back to Gary Sanchez, right? I think he deserves so much respect. And we talked about this the last time you were on, but he's only improved tremendously since then as well. It's actually ridiculous the tear that Gary Sanchez is going on. And I know, Dan, we both love Aaron Judge, but I think it's safe to say right now, Gary Sanchez has kind of turned into the Yankees' best hitter, no?
The fact that the Yankees are playing well lately, and it's largely due to Gary Sanchez playing so well, and Aaron Judge is not hitting at all. Just imagine what's going to happen when Aaron Judge does start hitting and the rest of the offense starts clicking. And I meant to get into it a little bit later, but I have the June leaderboards for the Yankees hitters since the start of June. And of course, Gary, he leads the way with, he's hitting 315 with 5 homers, a 184 weighted runs created plus. Now, I alluded to this in the pre-show, Pat. Guess who is number 2? He's Yankees' second best hitter since the start of June.
I try to get it out of you, Dan, but you wouldn't give it to me. I'm assuming that you wouldn't tell me because it's Brett Gardner, but there's no way it's Brett. So my prediction is going to be, drum roll, please. I'm going to go Miguel Andujar.
No, believe it or not, he's actually slightly towards the bottom because he has been slumping a little bit lately. Brett Gardner is the Yankees' second best hitter since the start of June.
But what numbers prove that, Dan?
So he's played 16 games. Gary Sanchez played 15, by the way. He's played 16 games. He's hitting 270 with 2 homers. He's slugging 568, 417 on base, weighted runs created plus of 166. So, Brett Gardner, he's been the Yankees' second best hitter. But don't let that distract you from how good Gary Sanchez has been.
Though.
But it's not real. It's true. You want to deny it. But, Gary, he's been absolutely ridiculous. And, I think it was very much showcased in the game yesterday when he's not just pulling the ball anymore. He looks like 2017 Gary Sanchez where he's going opposite field. And I tweeted this out yesterday. Bro, was that not that double he had in the first inning yesterday? Was that not a carbon copy of the 2017 ALCS Game 4 double, bro? It was identical.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit more to the
location.
Right,
yes, the fastball location, whatever. But the swing, bro. The way Gary is looking right now, bro. Not just a Gary hot streak. I feel like he actually is back. Now, I mean, he's gonna get cold at some point, as all hitters do. That's just baseball. But I mean, bro, if Gary can even just be he's at a 120 weighted runs created plus right now. If he can even be just a 115 guy for the rest of the season, bro, how huge would that be? And let me, while I'm holding the floor here talking about Gary, bro, Cole starts what, tomorrow? I think we're in agreement that Gary should be starting tomorrow behind the plate.
Oh, 1,000%.
And listen, I understand where Boone's coming from with like what he's saying. Like his logic is that Gary, he obviously ain't going to catch every single day, right? So on that day you're going to give him off, you just do it on the cold day so Higgy can start. But in a series that's starting with an off day before the first game and Cole's starting game 1, you have no reason not to start Gary. If Cole is that good of a pitcher, which obviously he is, he can pitch and pitch decently to Gary Sanchez.
Yeah. No, I'm on this train 1,000%. I posted a video about this last week, kind of explaining how important it is to kind of just improve that Cole-Gary dynamic, especially as you go down the stretch, right? Because my main argument for this is kind of similar to the Giancarlo Stanton situation, kind of him playing in the field as well. The first time you have these guys doing things, you don't want it to be in the postseason. So Giancarlo Stanton, for example, when the Yankees make the World Series, because I'm still banking on that, you don't want his first time in the field to be in game 1 of the World Series. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So also kind of going back to Gary with that, you don't want the first time Gary catches Cole to be in game 1 of the ALDS or the American League wildcard game. Because if Gary continues at this pace down the stretch, which he probably won't, to be honest with you. Gary's a very streaky hitter. Next month we might see him.
He won't be like a 180 weighted runs created plus good, but like I was saying before, I feel like he is good enough to like will 100% be like an above league average offensive catcher.
For sure. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you're going to need his bat in the lineup for game 1 of the ALDS or any postseason game, to be completely honest with you.
Let's set a scenario, though. Like, say tomorrow was ALDS game 1. Obviously, Cole would pitch. You think Gary would start?
I don't think he would. But I think he should.
But that's why you gotta pair Cole and Gary now.
100%.
And speaking of Stanton, real quick, did you see he's going to try to get into the outfield by July? Which that's clutch. Now, I'm not sure if like that's just like Stanton saying that. Like, I'm not sure. I don't have the Yankees been on board with that. I haven't seen like has Boone commented on that, but I mean,
so
I like Stanton's logic, bro, where he's saying like I don't want to have to sit out during another interleague series.
No, yeah,
dude, you could argue we win game 1 if Stanton's in the lineup
I agree.
In Philadelphia.
No, I agree, and also, I mean, you kind of when you asked like the question have the Yankees addressed it, Boone actually did mention it. I believe it was when who got hurt in the outfield. I don't remember, but someone
not today.
Oh, no, it was when Hicks got hurt.
Yes, but that's different because that same day, that's when Stanton got hurt like 15 minutes later. Remember how ironic that was?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's when
I'm saying, like, have they mentioned it since Stanton came back from the IL? No,
I don't think so.
Because they might not be on board with that.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean, kind of going back to Gary real quick, I think that it's just finally, we were talking about this last time you were on, how he just deserves a little bit more respect than he's gotten so far. And I think he's finally starting to earn it. Like, you look at Yankee fans, bro, he got like a round of applause at the stadium these past couple days.
I think he's definitely starting to earn it with
train.
Everybody but the All-Star voters apparently, bro, because he's still not even in the top 3. Which I'm actually not too worried about that one because it's like the All-Star voting is like a crock of crap. Martin Maldonado, he's 3rd in catching voting right now. And I think he has like a 580 OPS. But if they're still doing like that final vote stuff this year, Gary, I feel like has to be a candidate for that. He'll find his way onto the All-Star team some way and like, not rooting for it, but like, the catcher position is the most likely position to possibly get injured. So, I mean, like, he's the next, the most obvious replacement if somebody does go down.
Bro,
I don't know how many catchers make it. I think 3 do. I'm pretty sure, right?
But, bro, did you see, like, Kurt Suzuki's ahead of him?
I just know.
Like, stupid, bro.
I know Grandal's ahead of him, which that makes sense. And then, is Suzuki in front of him?
I thought I saw Suzuki.
I mean, regardless, Gary's not in the top 3, and he should be because he's 2nd in OPS among all catchers, and his defense hasn't been brutal this year at all. It's just been like slightly below league average.
No, I agree, and that's also kind of like why we go back to the whole like Gary, why he should be starting for Cole thing here. Like, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but Kalagashioka and his defense a little bit overrated, just a little.
Well,
bit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it depends like which part of his defense you're talking about, because I mean, like his ability to receive the ball is apparently like very good.
Framing top notch, sure.
Yeah, but also like calling a game, like pitchers do like throwing to him. But, Cole's really the only example we can go off because he's a guy that's so anal about it. Cole's that good of a pitcher, which we know he is. Like I said before, he should be able to pitch to Gary. And he wasn't brutal last year when he was throwing to Gary. You have to admit he was better with Higgy, but like he 100% can be like still an ace caliber pitcher with Gary Sanchez. And like, wouldn't he want that, bro? Wouldn't you want, especially with the way the Yankees offense has been majority this year, not lately, but like, wouldn't you want to have Gary Sanchez in there and risk, okay, maybe you'll give up one more earned run, but Gary can hit you a 3-run home run to give you the lead and get you the win. Like, wouldn't you want Gary Sanchez to be in the lineup if you're Cole?
but that's exactly what I'm saying in the sense of like, bro, like at some point, if this is Garrett Cole's doing, which I'm kind of assuming it is at this point.
Oh,
if
it has to
bro,
be.
it has to be.
Not to interrupt you, but like if Cole went up to Boone and he said, "Go ahead, start Gary from now," and like I feel like it's the end of discussion.
Exactly. And that's why I'm assuming it's on Cole's side. And at that, like, I say this, but I say it very lightly. Like, you might just have to tell Cole to suck it up, bro. Because also, you have to keep in mind, like, last year when he did have kind of like those decent numbers pitching to Gary, you also have to remember, like, that was in the beginning of the year where Cole usually starts off slow anyway.
Facts.
Like, Cole hit, like, his peak in the season right when they kind of switched things over to Higashioka to catcher. So, honestly, like, I think that Gary has to be Cole's catcher, but, like, I don't know.
Let's mention one more thing, too. Cole pitched to Gary opening day. He was pretty good. What did he throw? Like 6 innings, 2 runs, something like that.
Something
good.
Like,
with like 8 Ks. Like, he was good. He looked good.
I agree. I mean, bottom line here, Gary Sanchez is a tank. I think. Listen, as long as he just continues,
you
to
know
keep
what
up
it is.
What he's
you
doing
know what
here,
it
bro.
is.
What?
Tell me, players don't automatically get better when they're wearing high socks.
Okay, no, I'm kind of on that train. But Dan, I'm actually surprised you like high socks because you're like such a baseball traditionalist.
Traditionalist? What do they always wear back in the 30s, bro? When baseball was at its best, high
stirrups, bro.
Well, bro,
when baseball was at its best in the 30s.
That was a joke. But bro, like even like going back, like when you played Little League, bro, I'm not sure if you wore like low pants or whatever, bro. I alternated, but like I know the days where I felt best was wearing high socks.
No, bro, I wore high socks for A-Rod, like easily.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But when I started pitching, I did wear the lower pants because like need some like flexibility wise. But yeah, no, I think high socks, bro. And I say this about like even like when I'm going to the gym, bro. Like when you look good, you feel good, you perform better,
100%.
and that's absolutely a fact. And Gary, bro, he's worn high socks. I'm pretty sure like maybe one game he didn't wear high socks this year.
But you know what else it is? You know what else it is? It's kind of just a Gary adapting to the league that's kind of like adjusted to him. And I don't know why it's taken so long for the Yankees to realize this. Gary has kind of like abandoned the high leg kick, not entirely, but it's much less noticeable. Sure. Yeah, much less noticeable than it used to be. And bro, this is something that we talked about last year. In 2016, when Gary was at his peak, he was Babe Ruth of baseball, bro. He incorporated the toe tap. He would adjust his leg kick and toe tap.
He would like back and forth depending on the pitcher.
Mid at bat. Yeah, it would depend on how many strikes he has on him, depending on the pitcher. And I don't know what kind of took Gary and the Yankees so long to kind of realize that he needs to go back to that approach, but it seems like he's back to it and it's kind of working now.
Yeah, for sure. And also too, like now that I think about it, like, bro, like when Gary like lost his starting catching job, like that was really based off of what, like a 2-week sample size in a way. Yeah. Like it was like third week of April through like the first week of May where they kind of gave up on him. Like, I mean, that's just baseball, yo. Like we're seeing with Aaron Judge right now. Like players go through slumps. Like Gary was great the first like week and a half of the season, had a rough next couple weeks, and then look what he's done over the last month. Because, bro, and Talking Yanks put this out the other day, and it's so true. Like Gary's went from having a good stretch, like his season numbers thanks to this stretch are overall just good. Like he's having a good season now. Like it's not just he's been hot lately. He's having a good season. His OPS is like 820. And let me, before we finish up this topic, I just want to go through who's like the leaders offensively for the Yankees since June. So obviously Gary's one.
I know, but Dan, you say offensive leaders, but like what numbers are these based on?
Well, weighted runs created plus, and then I give you the stats. I mean, you all understand weighted runs created plus, right? Because I'm big on that.
No,
Same deal as OPS plus. So look at 100. 100 is league average. Anything above is how much better.
Because, bro, like you just throw me off entirely when you say like Brett Gardner's been the Yankees' second best hitter.
Well, he has been. No, I mean,
he hasn't though.
No.
Since you can't sit here and tell me that. No, but you can't sit here and tell me that. He probably had one good week in the beginning of June, and since then he's probably batting like under 200.
Statistically, since the beginning of June, he's been the Yankees' second best hitter. He has a 166 weighted runs created plus.
I know, but Dan, that's why you can't trust advanced stats like for everything.
No, you can't.
There's no way you can sit here and tell me that you truly believe Brett Gardner's been the Yankees' second best hitter.
Oh, I do. Now, do I say he's like the best power hitter? No, but look at his on base percentage. He has an on base of 417. He's slugging 568. What does that tell you right there? If you want to go by standard OPS, you can.
All right, so let's
if you had to pick one stat to go by who's been the Yankees' best offensive player, or just to determine offensive value in the first place, like what would you go by? OPS? Because it's essentially
no, I'm playing. No, but Dan, genuinely, like I understand like weighted runs created plus and like how like that incorporates into obviously determining whether or not a batter's value is good. But this is laughable. Like if you sit here and say that Brett Gardner's been the Yankees' second best hitter, I'm just saying.
It's not like he has like a 105.
And the fact that you stand by that though.
Because I see facts and I go by them, bro. That's how it goes.
I don't know.
It's not like, if he had a 105 weighted runs created plus, that would mean he's 5% better than league average offense. I know you know that. But that would be like, okay, he just had a good game or so. Bro, he's played 16 games, 166 weighted runs created plus.
Dan, have you watched him at the plate?
Pat, This isn't like, it's not like there's some formula they throw. Like weighted runs created plus, bro, is legitimate.
I know that, but
so what are you trying to? Why are you trying to dispute me? Am I fan graphs? No, you can.
I'm trying to dispute
plus
you.
too. It'd be the same deal.
No, Dan, I'm trying to dispute you because I don't know
for trusting
my mind.
For trusting it?
No, for believing it.
Okay, let me tell you. Can I just finish what I was going to say?
For living by. Yeah, go on.
Okay, Stanton is 3 by weighted runs created plus. He has a 157. Urshela is 4 with a 134. And Duhar is 5th with a 103. Judge has an 83 weighted runs created plus. So he's been 17% worse than a league average offensive player since the start of June.
Yes, Judge has struggled.
Oh, so you believe it for Judge, but not Gardner.
Okay, but at the end of the day, Dan, you tell me these numbers. But tomorrow, the Yankees play the Royals. 9th inning. Who do you want up, Aaron Judge or Brett Gardner?
Oh, my God. You're taking this totally out of context, bro.
How is that taking out of context? You're telling me that Brett Gardner's been the second best hitter on the Yankees.
Because
you're telling me you would trust him in a big at-bat tomorrow?
Dude, just because I'm reading off the stats doesn't mean that's where I believe like how good the player is. Mookie Betts right now, if you want to go by weighted runs created plus, is like the 50th best player in baseball. Does that mean that's true? No. He's the third best player in baseball.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying Brett Gardner is the second best offensive player in the Yankees. I'm saying statistically he has been. No, that's not what I'm saying. I want to get that clear, bro.
You said in June he was the second best Yankees hitter. That's exactly what you said.
So, Pat, do you think I'm saying Aaron Judge is the 7th best Yankees hitter? Hell no. He's the number 1 best hitter. Exactly. Yes. What are you saying? You're trying to rile me up right now, bro, and it's not going to work.
No, because you riled me up by saying that Brett Gardner's been the Yankees' second best hitter.
Do you want me to send you a screenshot? I'm telling you facts. I am telling you concrete facts right now. He's been statistically their second best hitter since the start of June.
So statistically, Aaron Judge is the Yankees' 7th best hitter.
No, he's been their 7th worst hitter since the start of June. And do you dispute that?
Dan. Okay, no, you're Dan. You're literally countering yourself here.
No, he's not. Aaron Judge is not the Yankees' 7th worst hitter.
He has
been since the start of June. What don't you understand about that?
I understand it. Okay, moving on.
No, it's like, who's a better shortstop? Francisco Lindor or Gleyber Torres? Francisco Lindor. Who's having the better year? Gleyber Torres. Does that mean he's better than Francisco Lindor long term? No. How do you not understand what I'm saying? I'm baffled by this.
Bro, I'm not understanding what you're saying because statistically,
this actually shocks me
Brett Gardner's having a good month.
But this is like this isn't something I feel like we would be like disputing each other on. Like this is like common sense to me. I'm saying
disputing you because I don't care what Brett Gardner's weighted runs plus are.
So that's what it is. Just admit
that's what it is.
If I named any other player, okay, how about this? Giancarlo Stanton.
If you said about Clint Frazier, I would call you crazy too, bro.
Because that would be wrong. You're right.
Okay.
I'm going fact versus falseness, or what's the word? Fact versus fiction, not falseness. Giancarlo Stanton, according to weighted runs created plus, is the last thing I'm going to say, has been the Yankees' 3rd best hitter this month. Would you believe that?
Sure.
You're full of shit, bro. I'm sorry.
How?
Because you're not making any sense, bro.
Dan, you cannot tell me that you trust Brett Gardner in this lineup right now.
That's not what I'm saying. For Christ's sake. Say Tyler Wade, just for argument's sake, was batting 600 last week with 3 home runs.
Sure.
Statistically, Tyler Wade has been the best Yankees offensive player over the last week in this argument, not real life. Does that mean he's the best Yankees hitter and I want him like starting full time for the rest of the year? Hell no. I'm just giving you facts over the last week.
Why does it matter?
Just to irritate you, bro. That Brett Gardner's been good. And,
no, I know that was your goal.
Let me tell you this. But at the very least, bro, like I'm not bullshitting on this. Brett Gardner, it might mean he's not washed. And hey, give him the
Dan.
Pat, no player that's been 60% better than a league average offensive player for almost a month now. That means they're not washed. Okay,
you can't sit here and tell me that Brett Gardner's not washed.
He's showing that he may not be. And listen to this. Listen to this. Does it make like you feel any better? Or not just about Gardner, but like Yankees hitters in general lately. Have you noticed they've been hitting better? Want to know why, or want to know a reason which could be why? What's happened lately, bro? Pitchers aren't using the sticky stuff. No more spider tech. So maybe Brett Gardner, when he's facing pitchers who are, I don't want to say cheating because almost every pitcher's doing it, but when he's facing pitchers who have an unfair advantage, sure, he's washed. But when he's not and it's a more level playing field, he's a little more competitive of a hitter. You hear me, bro?
Okay, I think we should just move on from this topic because I literally lost like 15 brain cells in the past 10 minutes. No joke.
Yeah, because you're... Never mind. I almost said a word that would get me canceled. Just kidding.
No, Dan, literally, because you're all right. Whatever. We'll probably get back into it later. Probably. Speaking of the Yankees getting better as of late, their offense is definitely improving. Since that brutal week where actually it was more than a week, right? It was a few weeks where they just looked like they were the worst team in baseball. But I mean, do we think that they're back for good now? You sweep the Blue Jays, you take 2 out of 3 from Oakland, one of the best teams in the American League here. Now they're going into a 3-game series with the Royals. Do you think that this team is actually back?
I do, and more so honestly, like I'm feeling better about this team now than I did during the 23-9 stretch. For one, the reason I just brought up how pitchers aren't using the spider tack no more, and I feel like it's like a little more like we can buy into this hot stretch a little bit more, even though it's only been like a week, because like the offense is clicking, which is what we thought like would be the thing that would carry this team. Like before in May, it was kind of like I don't know, like didn't you get the sense that it was eventually going to end because the pitching was the thing that carried us and a red hot Giancarlo Stanton, of course. I did back in when like the beginning of May when we were on that tear, like the pitching is what carried us. I didn't think that was sustainable. The offense though, which is carrying us now, besides the final game against Oakland, that is sustainable. Like I do buy into this offense, and like I feel like most of us kind of have up until like the first couple months of the season. This offense is good, and they can play this way, especially with weather getting warmer. There's actually been I saw a rumor that they might be changing the balls back. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'm just saying. And
it would be smart to do so.
I don't know why they haven't already. Maybe they'll do it at the All-Star break. But and then with pitchers not having that unfair advantage, bro, like I feel like our hitters are good enough to where they can carry us to a postseason spot. And hey, total change of the scenario, bro, from like last time I was on. The division is
1000%.
once again in reach. The division is once again in reach. Within, I think, exactly a week's time, we went from being 9 back to what'll be 4.5 back right now. I'm not sure what Tampa Bay and Boston did today if they played, but we're back in it, bro. Like it's a race again. Now we were never out of like the postseason hunt at all, but like the AL East, like not gonna lie, you know, we admitted it. It was looking kind of like we weren't very hopeful about it, but now like you can not only just dream. Like I feel like it's a legitimate race. Like we're in the race for the AL East.
For sure. No, I agree with you 1000%. I mean, you kind of look at like where this team was a week ago. In less than a week, bro, we've gained like what 5 games in the standings, something stupid like that. So I think you just kind of have to look at the team right now and kind of just picture the trajectory that they're on, right? And I think right now the Yankees are on the upswing for the first time in a while. However, I genuinely hope, Dan, that the Yankees kind of don't get some false sense of hope here, especially with Luke Voigt coming back tomorrow and Corey Kluber.
Which that is
eventually.
Big. That is big, though.
Wait, let me finish the point here.
Yeah.
So with Kluber coming back and Sevy coming back, Darren O'Day coming back, I don't want them to get some false sense of hope that like they don't need to make any moves to improve this roster because there's still some key holes that need to be filled here.
I'm with you. I try to say something real quick, bro. It's funny because like you put my name in the show, all of a sudden I'm interrupting you left and right again. But yeah, no, I'm with you, bro. They definitely got to make a move. I do think they're going to get an outfielder and
replace who?
Brett Gardner, because
the second best hitter in the month of June. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm in shock if you still don't understand what I'm saying. But yes, Brett Gardner should not be the Yankees starting outfielder, which he was never supposed to be. He was supposed to be a fourth outfielder, which he is fine.
We agree on that.
Good. Then we agree, Pat. Anyways. Okay. Cashman, he said that they're absolutely going to be buyers, so that basically eliminates unless they go on like a 0-20 stretch before the trade deadline. He said they're going to be buyers, so that's good to hear. And he also said it's not out of the equation that they might go over the luxury tax. Now, obviously, that's up to Hal Steinbrenner. I don't think they will either, unless like they really feel like they need to go and get Max Scherzer. Kind of like what Steve Cohen said about the Mets. Like it's not worth it to go $1 to $2 million over, but like if there's a piece you think will put you over the top and at least secure you going to the World Series, make you the clear-cut favorite in the American League. I think if Scherzer's that guy and they really do feel that way, I could see them going over the luxury tax. Just with Cashman saying that. Not that we should believe him necessarily, but like it is nice to hear. Like, even if they're feeding us BS, bro, isn't it nice to hear that in a way? At least that we're not selling.
Nice to hear. Yeah. It's nice to hear from Cashman in general, right? Especially after the rough stretch that the Yankees just went on.
You see that somebody just commented in the chat though. That's very much could happen. Irving Figueroa. Brian Cashman, we don't need a center fielder. Have you seen Gardner's stats?
But that's what I'm telling you, Dan. But this is what I'm telling you. It's like, that's why I get so worked up, right? Because like you give me these stats from Brett Gardner's month of June, but I still don't think that we could sit here and say that he's the Yankees starting center fielder moving forward. So I think that's why it just still creates like a false narrative because while he might have had a decent month of June, the Yankees still need to go out and get a legitimate center fielder. Now, what might it be like Ketel Marte, Starling Marte?
A lot of people are saying
Andrew Benintendi now. Yeah, but I think he's making a lot more money. I don't know, but all I'm saying is that the Yankees need to go out and get an outfielder like that because I don't want to go down the stretch with Brett Gardner in center field. And to be honest with you, like I'm not even that high on Miguel Andujar in left field.
Yeah, and he's slowed down a little bit lately too. So I mean, and like his defense isn't great; it's improved. I mean, you at least have to get an outfielder, right? And then come postseason time, then it'll probably be like a toss-up. Whoever's playing well, Gardy or Andujar for left field.
Who would you go with?
If
I mean, obviously it depends
if
how
postseason started tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we had another outfielder, like we got a center fielder. I'd obviously whoever that is in center field, and then left field I would go Andujar right now, and then swap him out for Gardy in like the 7th.
So would I.
Defense.
So would I. I mean,
well, Well, no, Clint Frazier's not playing too great lately either. I mean, like over the last couple games, he's played well, hasn't he, or no?
I mean,
He's in the mix too.
Okay,
he had a good game, didn't he? Or did I dream that?
No, Clint's actually been decent lately. Now, I want to talk about Clint just for a little bit. I'm sure you kind of relate to me when I say this, but I feel like the Yankees have kind of been so disrespectful to Clint Frazier. I mean, if you look at his stats, like for his last 20 games or so, he hasn't been that bad to the point where he needed to sit for a week. The dude literally didn't get a start for almost the entire week last week, bro. Especially after the pinch hit double in Toronto that won them the first game of the series. It's getting to a weird point at this point with Clint Frazier's Yankees career. I'm on board where you either send the dude down or trade him, bro, because it's borderline like disrespectful how they've treated him.
Can I tell you something?
Are you going to bring up his weighted runs created plus?
You might want me to with your argument since it started June 1st.
Oh, go for it, Dan.
132. That's really good.
I get it.
That's good.
No,
That's
I know.
Good. That's good.
You're actually defending me here. No,
I am. And that's funny because I went to look that up to disprove you on that because it honestly doesn't feel like Clint's been amazing over that. Like,
but that's what I'm trying to tell you because he hasn't played, bro. He hasn't got.
I say another say Andujar keeps kind of crap in the bed, which he has been the last few games for another week or so. Then I think Clint should be very much like your everyday left fielder like Andujar's been over the last few weeks. Now the thing I'll disagree with you on is, or somewhat disagree with you on, is I totally would have agreed with you about how the Yankees are screwing over Clint going into this year. That's always been the case. They have not treated him the way he should have been treated, But for a good portion of this year, and still his season stats right now, Clint Frazier has not been good this year, and you can admit that.
No,
yeah. So I mean, he was given the opportunity to have the left field job, and they didn't handle that perfectly either. I mean, Brett Gardner was starting in left the third game of the season, I think, right? But still,
Clint was benched for 2 games. I think 10 games into the year.
That was dumb. Yeah. But he still has had his fair share of playing time. And for a good while, he was getting consistent at bats, Clint. From April to June.
Before
April
to May.
Yeah. He was getting consistent at bats and he didn't play well. But, yeah, I mean, if he keeps hitting well, then sure. Somebody brings up, is Clint Frazier still a bust, Dan? As of right now, I'm sorry, Clint Frazier is a bust. But that doesn't mean, as a Yankee, it doesn't mean it's necessarily his fault. But, everybody was nagging on me the other day because I said Clint Frazier's officially a bust, and then he had that good game. He had the 2 doubles, which was Sunday, I think. Whatever it was, but
I think so. No, bro, that kind of led to the Yankees rally. Because the first double they kind of left him stranded, but then the second one was when Judge drove him in. And that kind of started the whole run scoring fiasco there. But I mean, honestly, I just want to see. I bring up this analogy all the time. It's like a toxic relationship right now between the Yankees and Clint Frazier. I just want to see them break up, and I want to see Clint Frazier do better with himself, bro. I want to see him go somewhere else and succeed because I think that he has all the talent in the world to do so. I just think he's been so misutilized in the Yankees organization. We're talking about a guy who could have been called up as a starting center fielder, left fielder, whatever, in 2018. He made his debut in 2017, never really got a real chance. Then he just fluctuated so much between AAA and the major leagues over the past few years. You can't really blame the guy for not being able to kind of just get his groove at the plate, especially when, I know we talk about advanced stats, and I'm a firm believer in the whole mental aspect of the game that goes beyond stats. You look at Clint Frazier was probably looking over his shoulder the entirety of the beginning of the season, and that has to do something on his playing time. You can tell me I'm wrong, I don't care, but especially after, let's say, I think Clint was pretty solid 5 games into the season, then he slumped for about 5 games. I think the 10th or 11th game of the year, something like that, the Yankees go to Tampa, and then he was benched for those 2 games, and Brett Gardner started over him. You have to think that messed with his mentality somehow, some way, even it just a little bit, that it made him look over his shoulder for the rest of the season.
I don't think you're wrong in saying that. Let me ask you though, outside of the Yankees, the actual organization's handling of him, do you think New York has any effect on Clint, negatively? Do you think he might put a little too much pressure on himself? It may not be the right fit for him. Outside of what the Yankees have done to him, you know what I'm saying? Just New York, playing in the market of New York alone. Do you think that?
Yes. You know why? Because the Clint Frazier that we see on the Yankees right now, this is not Clint Frazier. The Clint Frazier that we saw when he first came up, right? Kind of the fun guy, the guy who would kind of say whatever he wanted to. That's Clint Frazier, bro. And I think right now we're just seeing a dude who's just a shell of himself. He can't truly be himself. He's worried about the New York media kind of ripping on him if he says anything wrong. So yeah, I think truly if he goes to a place like Arizona, I think that we would see a dude who his confidence would be back.
So what you're saying is you want to see some gross long hair past the neck, and you want to see some cocky bat flips.
I never said that, but listen, No, but Dan, listen.
I'm kidding.
Like we joke around about it, but like just like how we were talking about before with the high stocks, right? If you feel like you look good, you're gonna play good. And in that case, like bro, it goes past looks at that point. It goes like in mental space. And if Clint Frazier feels like he's not in a good mental space in New York for whatever reason, if it's because he can't grow his hair longer, because he can't grow a beard, I don't know. But for some reason, it just seems like it's not clicking for him in New York, and he might need a better environment to do so.
I think that's fair, but I mean, I'm with you. I mean, I feel like he's done after this year. Like, unless he goes on like a towards stretch, and it's not like just like
He
the
might get
offense,
traded at the
bro. Like
deadline.
anybody who wants to criticize Andujar's defense, like they have to basically say the same thing about Frazier because, and I thought this ever since going back to last year. Like, yeah, Clint was a Gold Glove finalist in 2020, but like, bro, like, couldn't we kind of see that was an aberration? Like, he's not that good in left field, and we were seeing that this year, bro. Like that one ball. I'm not sure if the runner ended up scoring or not, but that double that the A's
Yesterday?
hit. I forget. Yeah, was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
That ball should have been caught. It had
No
like
runs.
I think it literally had because Licky's a beast, but it had a 95% catch probability. And
No,
like,
I know.
he's just not good at tracking balls, and like I don't think he's gonna improve on that. And like if you do think he's putting on more pressure playing in New York, he's not able to be himself. Like I don't think like that's gonna help his situation in the outfield at all because he probably is putting pressure on himself.
No, I agree 1,000%.
I think honestly, bro, what I'm saying is I think he's done. Like I think this is his last year with the Yankees.
I agree. If he even makes it through the rest of the season. But also, I mean, kind of going back to, you mentioned Miguel Andujar. Now, I know like the advanced metrics kind of show that Clint Frazier is one of the worst outfielders defensively in all of baseball, right? But at the same time, I think I'd still prefer him out there over Miguel Andujar. Like, just based on the eye test. You're not telling me you trust Clint out there over Andujar?
It depends. Like, I feel like, honestly, call me crazy. A routine fly ball, like the definition of a routine fly ball, I honestly will take Andujar. But, like, if there's, like, a ball in the gap that needs to be caught, like, and I have to, like, my life depends on it, like, I would probably go with Clint. But, like, bro, like, Andujar, I think, and would you admit this, has been more solid than you anticipated he'd be in left field, at least compared to last year. Like, he's looked comfortable at times. Like, he has blunders, too. I feel like he has the same amount of blunders that Clint does, So, the way I see it is, like, their defense makes them neck and neck. Just who's hitting better offensively lately? And as of late, it's Brett Gardner. So,
like, how does it always come back to that? It's like,
I'm just trying to piss.
You're just like, I see Pat's a little calm right now, so let's kind of bring this up again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, speaking of, we're on the Yankees outfield situation, right? And here's something I talk about so often. Trey Emberge, have you been following him at all in AAA?
Nah. I know he had like a crazy hit streak, didn't he, or something?
Yeah, he had like a 20-something game hit streak, I believe, going back to 2019. He's actually just raking. I think he's batting like 370 or something stupid like that. I know we don't really love batting average, but when your batting average is 370, like, yeah, it's
it's the same deal as like it's the same deal as like if you're hitting 150, chances are you're not good. It's like if you're hitting 350, you're probably pretty good.
Exactly. And honestly, like Emberge has gotten so much praise from guys like Eric Kratz. Remember Eric Kratz? He's like Amberge's #1 fan. He tweets about him all the time. Also, Luke Voigt, when he was on his rehab assignment down there, he said 2 guys stuck out to him the most, Glenn Otto and Trey Amberge. Now, I think the issue right now is I would love to see Amberge get an opportunity in the big leagues, right? I think he's kind of just like that life that the Yankees could use, kind of like 2019 next man up kind of vibes with it. But at the same time, it's like, bro, where's there a fit? And what are the Yankees going to do with this dude? Because this is like a Clint Frazier situation all over again. Obviously, he doesn't have the same hype around him as Clint does, but Amberge's like 26 years old. If you're not going to trade him or call him up, are you going to leave him in AAA for the rest of his career? And I feel like this is the case with so many guys in the Yankees organization. And at what point does it get frustrating?
Let me ask you, because you know more about him than I do. Do you know like what his is he like a solid defender? Is he?
I'm pretty sure he's a solid defender.
So I mean, his best hope would be like maybe he can be a 4th outfielder at some point for us if he doesn't get traded. But the thing is that like as for like this year, like he would basically just be the outfield version of Chris Gittens. Like he could come up for a little bit and then he would get sent down once like a replacement comes. Because I mean, this is something that like I am so set on. Like we need to get an outfielder, and I do think that we will. Like if we're gonna make one trade this year, I think it'll be for a center fielder. So I mean, like once that guy comes, like if Amberge was getting full like playing time, like that's gonna go away. So. I know you love him. He seems like a great dude. Like I think I watched, and you interviewed him, right, or something like that.
Yeah,
that's what I watched. And he seems like a good dude, can hit, but like he probably doesn't have a future, at least starting with the Yankees.
But that's
maybe I'm saying like best case scenario, maybe like say they did call him up, right? Which I don't think that's gonna happen because what would have to happen for that is to carry an extra outfielder. Are you setting Andujar down? No.
Hear me out.
Down. You think Clint might get sent down?
I posed this theory, bro. I posed this theory a couple days ago. I want to inject some life into the Yankees, right? And this is like without making any trades here. I'm sending down Clint Frazier. I'm calling up Trey Ambergy. And also, bro, I think we might be on the same page as far as this goes. I'm DFAing Rougned Odor, which I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, like the luxury tag is going to put them over because they have to pay Odor's contract. I don't really care. You call up Jun Park. Have you been following him at all? Because that dude has been tearing it up in AAA as well.
On Twitter. Wait, but as for Clint Frazier, so for a second ago, didn't you want him to start in left field? And now you're saying
I never said that. When did I say that?
You're saying they're screwing him over.
No, I'm saying that he hasn't gotten the playing time that I think he should. So I think if you're not playing him in the majors, why not send him down?
The only thing I'm with you on in terms of this year is the 2 games where Gardner started when Clint was in like the smallest of slides. But
yeah.
What's it, Jun Park? You said his name?
Yeah.
No, I mean I know he's playing well.
Beautiful left-handed swing too.
He's left-handed.
Yeah.
And he's an infielder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, word. I mean, I'm for that, but regardless, I want Odor DFA'd or at least not starting anymore. Start Wade if that's what they want to do. Bat him 9th, left-handed bat, adds versatility. The only negative side effect of it is that you can't have him off the bench where it's like most of his value comes from. But bro, you cannot start Odor come postseason time. Like not a chance.
No, I agree. Let's take a look at some of these comments in the chat. If you guys have any questions, be sure to pop them in chat. We'll try to answer most of them. But Big Brain Borg says, Dan, which center fielder do you think we will trade for, if any?
One of the Martes. I think Ketel Marte. Preference would be Ketel Marte.
Same.
They're both having good years, but I think the more realistic one is Starling Marte. I know he's making more money, but he would probably take less. Definitely would take less to get because Ketel has years of control. He's overall better. He's a switch hitter. So the Yankees probably have to give like multiple good prospects for him.
Yeah.
Starling, I think he makes like what didn't we calculate it last time? He makes like 10 or something mil. So the Yankees would either have to go past the luxury tax or they have to, cut bait with maybe attach O'Day in a trade or Justin Wilson, something like that to make room financially.
I doubt they trade O'Day. I doubt
Well, I'm just saying like some guy that makes 1 to 2 mil. I'm just giving examples.
No,
but, I think we'll get one of the Martes.
Bro, does it still not boggle? And I know this is like kind of going back to a topic we already touched on, but doesn't it still boggle your mind that they even traded for Rougned Odor? Like, what was the purpose?
I know. At the time, I was like, that made no sense.
It still doesn't make sense.
No, it makes no sense at all. But, like, the only thing I was thinking is, like, maybe they're trying to, like, because I do have faith in the Yankees that, like, they see things in hitters that other organizations don't. So maybe they thought they could fix them. That's probably what they did think. But clearly that's not the case. Like, yeah. And at this point, like, I would be shocked, honestly. Not shocked, but like if I ran the team, there'd be no chance if he was if he was still on the team come like August after the deadline.
He will be probably. But all I'm saying is like we're looking back at like the trades that the Yankees have made so far this season. Obviously, Odor was one.
Are we gonna address that comment? Not so family fun vision. How many times are we gonna ignore that comment?
Wait. let me just finish my point. We'll address it. But like addressing like the Yankees trades that they made so far this season. Obviously, Odor was one. Can we kind of say now, Dan, another reason why I don't trust advanced metrics for just about everything? The advanced metrics showed that Wandy Peralta was like such a diamond in the rough. He's awful. He's the definition of garbage, bro.
Well, listen.
And the Yankees continue using him in high leverage spots, and it's so annoying.
The thing is, though, is that like, and let me just state my opinion on advanced metrics. I don't want people that don't really know me too well thinking I'm some like nerd stat guru, which isn't the case at all. I like the advanced metrics that are based off of results, right? So like you bring up how Wandy Peralta, I'm not sure which phrase you use, but basically saying like he could be really good, right? But that's the thing. His peripherals were really good. They show like his quality of contact, like I don't know, the spin on his ball, whatever, show that he could turn out to be really, really good. That doesn't mean he is good though. And we've seen it, bro. Like I don't even know if he's going to be on the team come August. He's been really bad, right? So like advanced metrics, I like looking at him when it shows like results, like how successful somebody has been like at the plate or pitching. They show somebody has been really good, not showing that like they will be good because that's more so like indication of the future.
I
like,
agree. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like with Wandy Peralta, like it was never like, oh, he had really good results. I don't even know what his past numbers are, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like it showed that he could be good and it hasn't worked out really at all. I mean, he's blown, I think 2-3 games for us in the last month.
Yeah. I agree 1,000%. And I think the thing that's frustrating me so much about the Wandy Peralta situation is obvious. Bro, this is a fun assumption that I'm making here, But I feel like the only reason the Yankees continue to put him in high leverage situations is not even because of the peripherals and kind of what he's expected to be, but because of, I think they just want to make themselves feel like geniuses and just wait on Wandy Peralta to actually get good. So they could be like, oh, like we found another diamond in the rough and we fleece the Giants for Mike Tauchman.
I was going to say, I think like I'm on line with you here. Like they want to justify the Mike Tauchman trade.
Yes.
And it's funny too, because remember what Cashman said about like right after Hicks got hurt, do you regret the Tauchman trade? And he's like, do you see how well Wandy Peralta's pitched for us? And at the time,
and that was like 2 games in.
Yeah, it was like, 2-3 games. And that was like, what, a month or two ago now? And he has not been good. Like I was looking at stats the other day. He has like a mid-5s ERA, which ERA is not everything.
Did you see he was warming up yesterday in the ninth, bro?
I know. And at the time, I was tweeting because I wanted Britton in, but I forget what Boone's answer was. They just wanted to stay away from him.
I think.
But I tweeted out, I'm like, please, anybody but Wandy Peralta. I think they also had Sessa warming up as well.
Who I don't hate. Underrated.
Bro, yeah. Sessa, bro, is so perfect for his role. So perfect.
I agree.
Like, he's a perfect pitcher, bro, when it's like the 5th or the 6th, 7th inning, and you're down by like 2 runs just to keep you in the game or just to like he's a good guy to bring in that Chapman situation if you don't have like Britton available. He's just a solid pitcher, like a solid arm. Definition of a solid arm.
I agree. I want to bring up this comment here from Alex. He says, I'm 25 minutes behind. The biased Gardner hate in the face of cold hard stats is not even getting funny, but sad. Okay, I think what like we need to acknowledge here is 1, it's not Gardner hate. It's 2, the fact that I'm looking at cold hard stats and I'm saying that obviously it's portraying a narrative that's just not true. The cold hard stats are portraying a narrative that Brett Gardner like is deserving to be the Yankees starting center fielder, and that's just not the case. I still think that the Yankees need to improve that position heavily, and while Brett Gardner might have had a decent month of June, you can't kind of ignore the fact that they still need to substantially improve at that position.
But that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
And I understand that you think that might like give the Yankees an excuse to not go after an outfielder, which
you don't think it will, Dan.
No. That's what no, I'm saying like that I could understand possibly happening, which would be blasphemous if it does. But like the main thing I was arguing when I was getting loud before is that I'm not saying he is their second best hitter. Not by any means. He has been statistically since the start of June their second best hitter. He's played well, better than like bro. I mean, you probably thought like over the last month or so he hasn't even been good. He's been more than good.
Well, it's because he started off the month very good and he's struggled as of late significantly.
Has he? I mean,
yeah, he has.
Well, like over the last like week or so, maybe.
I would say past couple weeks for sure.
I'm gonna find out.
But yeah, pull up those numbers. But in the meantime, I'm going to bring up Not So Family Fun Vision's comment. He said this isn't going to turn into Lights Out, right? The old Pat and Dan pod that lasted 1 episode. Me and Dan talked about this prior to going live tonight. I can guarantee you guys that we are going to be doing this for a very long time. Every Monday night, every Thursday night, the Pat and Dan show is not going to be turning into Lights Out. So Facts. I can guarantee you guys we're still going to be
not going anywhere, bro. Like that's the main thing with this. Like we're going to be so consistent with it.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm pulling up Guardy stats now.
I'm actually interested. Like no joke. Like all jokes aside, I genuinely want to know his stats. But listen, shout out to Easy Does It with the $5 dono. Appreciate you. He says when Gary does bad, everyone is on him, but when he's on top of his game, they still say he's lazy. Can't watch this and that. Shaking my head. Yankees need a lefty bat. I'm gonna address the first thing that you said here, and the fact that when Gary Sanchez is bad, everyone, bro, it's literally just like sheep mentality, right? It seems like when someone's just down in the dumps, people just love attacking them because he's an easy target at that point. You go on Twitter and you see everyone bashing Gary Sanchez for his poor performance. So people love to jump on that bandwagon. But then again, at the same time, when he's on top, I kind of disagree when he says this. I haven't really seen anyone saying Gary's lazy lately. All the Gary haters are now like, wow, Gary Sanchez is doing really good. I don't see anybody calling him lazy, bro, for now.
Yeah, no, I don't like you can't insult Gary at all right now. I don't think like the haters are like turning into like lovers of Gary. I think it's just like they're quiet. Like all you hear right now is the positive like takes from Gary because the supporters are loud as hell, rightfully so because he's playing so well. But like the haters, bro, like they're just not talking. Like, you know, like, you don't see them because they don't have anything to say. You know, I don't think they're turning into Gary lovers by any means. And we know, bro, by the second, bro, Gary starts like goes to like an 0 for like 9 slot or something, bro. They'll be back out in full force.
It's like the Stanton haters and the Judge haters, bro. It's the same thing with every single player. Did you pull up those numbers?
I was just about to say, Pat.
I'm interested.
This makes you feel a little better. Over his last 6 games, Brett Gardner's sitting 125.
I think it's a little bit more than his last 6. No.
Well, no, I bumped it up to 9 before, and his average is like 270. So,
really?
Yeah. So and it also might have to do with he's coming as a defensive replacement too, so I should probably go by like less amount of plate appearances. But
yeah,
whatever. Saying like over the last like probably like
No, yeah,
15,
because I
20
remember
at-bats.
him
He hasn't
being
been
pretty
great.
good the beginning of the month, for sure.
Yeah.
But I also feel like as time has gone on, it's kind of
And just so I'm clear,
that's
and I know
what
you
Brett
know
Gardner
this,
is, bro.
I know you know this. Like, I'm not saying Brett Gardner should be the Yankees starting center fielder. My whole point this whole time has been Gardy is a solid fourth outfielder, whether you or anybody disagrees with that or not. That's how I feel. He's a solid fourth outfielder. He should not be the starting center fielder for the Yankees. That's why they have to go out and get a center fielder, which I truly do believe they will.
Sure. And bro, that's actually something that's interesting, right? Because I was looking at the comments on our videos previously earlier today, and I saw someone make a comment and they were like, bro, you need to like let Brett Gardner be the Yankees starting center fielder. He's been such a loyal and durable Yankee. I'm like, to be honest with you, bro, I genuinely don't care about that. Performance over loyalty any day of the week. Bro, I was a firm believer when I was like 14 years old that Derek Jeter shouldn't be the Yankees' everyday starting shortstop, especially in a season like 2014 when they were going for it all. I'm sorry. I don't care about loyalty. I want a guy who's going to come on the field and produce, bro. Get me a Ketel Marte any day of the week over a guy who's been a loyal Yankee for 10 years. I'm sorry.
I'm with you in terms of like being the starting outfielder, but like back to like that conversation where we were going at each other a couple weeks ago. I'm cool with like the loyalty card being like the tiebreaker for bringing back Gardy as your fourth outfielder. You remember what I was talking about a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
We're like
over like Mike Tauchman.
We're like if like because we kind of came to the equation that like at the time at least Mike Tauchman and Brett Gardner, you could look at them as like neck and neck for like being good enough to be the Yankees' fourth outfielder. If there's a tiebreaker, I understand
having a slight edge probably. Just because of the youth and the team control, bro.
Team control for sure. Yeah. But and let's just get it clear again. Tauchman he's like a 65. I don't want to keep bringing up weighted runs created plus. He hasn't been good offensively this year. He's good defensively. But like if they're neck and neck tied, right? Tauchman and Gardy, I'm cool with the loyalty card being like the tiebreaker. You know what I'm saying? But as for like, should Brett Gardner, the fact that he's been here since 2008, been a good, loyal, durable Yankee for the longest time, should that be why he's a starting center fielder for us? Hell no. Once again, we need to go out and get a starting center fielder.
I agree. And kind of like looking towards the near future with the Yankees, right? They're starting a 3-game series against the Royals, starting tomorrow going into Thursday. Thursday's a day game, like I mentioned, so we'll be live after the game on Thursday for the Pat and Dan show. But with that being said, bro, this is an interesting series only because the Yankees have faced two pretty good teams in their last two series, and I'm a firm believer of the Yankees seem to play to their competition so far this season. It feels like whenever they're going up against a bad team, we don't see that same sort of like maximum effort as if we do when they're playing like the A's when they have all these comeback wins, or the Blue Jays and they actually feel like, I don't know, something's like on the line. And obviously the numbers don't really prove that just because like they don't have those good numbers against the AL East so far this season. But I think,
but can I interrupt you real quick?
What I'm saying.
I'm backing you up on this. Like,
yeah,
because like you may say like, oh, that can't be true because they got swept by the Red Sox. But like we were in those Red Sox games. Like those weren't blowouts by any means. I mean, like we came back in the series finale. The game before was a nice tight game. Like I think I'm with you, bro. Like you can tell like there's games like I don't want to say like not interested in, but like where they I don't know if try harder is the word either, bro. But like the Detroit series, for example, like bro, like they did not show up ready to play that series. And then look at like the White Sox series a month ago, they did the A's series this past weekend. I'm with you, bro. I do think they play up to their competition, and that's really going to be proven or not come the Fenway series this weekend. Which that is, I mean, obviously, but that is such a big series, bro.
Huge. It's a huge series, and that's exactly why I kind of mentioned this KC series coming up because I think that you need to take at least 2 out of 3, 100%. So you have that momentum going into Boston, bro. You need it.
2 out of 3, like in my mind, bro. Like they already have taken 2 out of 3 in my opinion, bro. Like that has to happen. That is going to happen. I'm hoping for a sweep, bro. Imagine going into Boston coming high off a sweep.
I know.
And I think we're going to have Cole start, I think, game 2 or 3 in the Boston series. I think I looked at it the other day, and is Tyone might be starting, whatever it is, but that's the only thing I'll be nervous about with Boston. The pitchers outside of Cole.
Especially Tyone on the road, bro. Oh my
I hope Domingo lines out the pitch in Boston.
Okay,
Domingo, I would say has balls, bro. I don't know. I feel like Domingo does not like. I look back at like the Astros. Am I not supposed to say that? My bad.
No, I know.
Oh, what?
Nothing. Just keep
getting canceled. Anyways, Domingo gets lined up to pitch in the Boston series, and then Monty, I guess, wouldn't, or would he? They could probably start Monty with the day off today in Boston.
Yeah.
So maybe ideally we'll get Cole, Domingo, and Monty. Not in that order, but if we can get those 3 pitching in Boston, it's looking all right.
Yeah, bro. And I think this kind of goes back to the donation that we just got from Easy Does It for $2. Appreciate you. He said we need another solid starter. And I think, bro, this is perfect timing, to be honest with you, because we're looking at going into the Boston series. And Dan, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see like another one of our starters outside of Garrett Cole that I'm 100% confident in to throw on the mound at Fenway Park and be like, just go and do your thing, right? It's not like a Kluber. It's not like what we expected we'd be getting from Tyone. We don't have that guy on the rotation right now outside of Cole that we throw out there, and I'm like, I'm so confident we're going to win this game.
I agree with you in like the terms of like no matter what the situation is, no matter where it is, yeah. If we're like, say we're like in a postseason series, I feel pretty comfortable throwing Monty at home. He's been really good at home so far. Domingo,
but I'm saying like, bro, just any situation.
Yeah, no, I hear you. The only thing is that like, if we're gonna get a center fielder and a starting pitcher, like we got to go past attacks now. Like we really do only have like $5 million to play with. And it's not like Devy's pitching well. He's getting shelled, actually. And Clark's still rehabbing from injury.
Which is crazy.
And Sevy, like, we were talking about it before, like, he's coming back probably late August, best case scenario. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we do need a starter. Just who is that guy? I haven't looked at that market too much, but, I mean.
There's not many out there, to be honest with you. I mean, I think right now, one of, like, the low-key options that the Yankees could be looking at is maybe, like, a Kyle Gibson. But then again, I don't want that, bro. Because while he might be having,
bro, getting Kyle, I'm not even sure the year he's having, but like
getting
Kyle Gibson, bro. Okay, sure. That just like it just feels like a J Happ acquisition,
exactly.
Right? Like I'm sure he'd be a decent starter during the regular season. You know, maybe give us a few quality starts, and then the come postseason, bro, he's gonna pitch 3 innings, and give up 4 runs on 7 hits. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good off Kyle Gibson. I just want like, bro, like, and someone just mentioned Tanaka. Like I wish maybe there is. I don't know. Like I would love to have like a Tanaka type starter out there that we can just get. That's like even if they just have like 1 year control left. Like, well, I was going to mention Kluber before. Let's go with him. Do we know? I know he's been throwing on flat ground.
Okay,
he's been throwing on flat ground. I feel like for a month.
No, yeah. So apparently, what the deal is with Kluber is he's eligible to come off the IL July 25th, I believe. Now, I'm hoping that he actually does come back July 5th. My biggest fear, though, is, bro, July 5th is less than a week away from the trade deadline. You know that has to have some sort of impact on the Yankees.
July 5th, that's like 3 weeks away, no? Are you thinking All-Star break?
No, July 25th.
July 20. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
oh, that's right. He's on the 60-day deal. Because I was going to say July 5th, there's no shot he's coming back then.
No, yeah.
But, yeah, word. I mean, that would be kind of nice, but that could also, I know what you're saying, like that could not work in our favor to where the Yankees look at him as a trade acquisition.
Exactly.
You know, and then we don't get a starter. But, hey, listen, I got to say, let me ask you this question because this is what I'm thinking in my head. Gun to your head, you can only get one, center fielder or a starter. Center fielder, no brainer.
Oh, good question.
To me, it's a no-brainer because let me just say my point, and then you go on. The way I look at it is this: if I can only pick one, which could legitimately be the question with the amount of money we have to spend, go get Ketel Marte or Starling Marte. There's your center fielder. And then when it comes to starting pitching, bro, you got your ace in Cole, so we're already in a much better spot pitching wise than we have been in years prior, besides last year, of course.
Sure.
You just would have to bank on Monty pitching well in the postseason, Herman stepping up, and then just bank on Sevy and Kluber being able to perform, coming back from injury. And hey, I want to walk back a little bit on the way I've talked about Sevy before, because I always said, like, especially with the setback, you can't have him pitch coming off an injury like as a starter. He's not gonna have enough time to be built back up. But hey, like come postseason time, 4 innings of Severino, like kind of like how he was in the 2018 wildcard game. Like that's valuable, bro. I will gladly take that. To where like I think Sevy could.
I'm not expecting that though. I
don't know. You don't think Sevy like because hey, when he was before that the setback, like he was touching 98. The stuff apparently looks really good. I do think Sevy could give us 4 innings in the postseason. Maybe we get our center fielder, and then maybe we do like a 2018 Zach Britton trade type deal where like we Boosh was already good, Nick was already good, even better. Get a bullpen arm for cheap because that bullpen arms, bro, you can get somebody for like $1 or $2 million.
No, I know. Listen, I'm going to answer the question as to whether or not I want a center fielder or a starting pitcher. But let's hit on these 2 donos. One from John for $5. Appreciate you, my man. He says, when Domingo had a 2 bad game stretch, everybody wants him cut and DFA'd. But when he has a 9-game stretch with a sub-3 ERA, nobody says nothing. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm usually not a huge fan of people like being so bipolar with players. But Domingo Germán's kind of like the one guy I get it, bro. Like people just genuinely hate him as a person. And I understand it. But, like, you can't really knock people for not liking Domingo Germán, bro.
Oh, for sure.
And especially, like, beating him when he's down, bro.
Domingo Germán, the person?
Well, I mean, the person comes along with the pitcher.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't decipher the two.
And that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Domingo Germán is a terrible human being, and I don't wish him any success in his actual life. You know, like, I don't root for his actual life. I root for him, the pitcher. I want him to do well. But the only thing I will say is this, like, treat Chapman the exact same way they treat Domingo Germán. They should be treated equally, and like Chapman doesn't get the same amount of hate Germán does. And I understand that in a way, but like you should, how do I say this? Like, I don't want to say this in the wrong way. Like you should want Germán to succeed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you should want Germán to pitch well. Because here's the thing, like Germán is on this team. He's going to be on this team, whether you like it or not. And if the Yankees cut him, 29 other teams will be lining up immediately to sign him because he has great stuff. He can be a great starting pitcher. And we've seen that for most of this year. For a good sample size, he's been really good for us. You should want Germán to do well. And if he does do well, bro, like we're in pretty good shape, to be honest. Like I think like if Germán's pitching well, Monty's pitching well around the trade deadline, I actually wouldn't be like disgusted if they didn't get a starter. That might be crazy, but I wouldn't be.
It's not crazy to think about. It's really not. But I do want to bring up this massive dono from Easy Does It with a $20 bomb. Appreciate you, my man. Ice says a solid veteran pitcher can do wonders for our young guys. Think about it. Once we get Sevy back, we can go into the playoffs with a solid rotation and bullpen. But let's see what happens. What do you think? A solid veteran pitcher? So, I mean, when I hear that, I kind of automatically think Kyle Gibson. I don't know why.
It's funny because I just looked up starting pitchers to be traded. Kyle Gibson was the first one mentioned. Matt Harvey's on there too. You know who I wouldn't mind? Actually would want, depending on how well he's doing this year, because I wanted him a lot going into the season, and he didn't do too well to start out. Kyle Hendricks.
I think we talked about this in the offseason a little bit because I really wanted Kyle Hendricks. Like, he was my number one pitcher. Bro, especially when everyone was talking on like the Luis Castillo bandwagon. I was like, bro, to be honest, I think I want Kyle Hendricks. I don't know how he's doing so far this season, though. I know he started off really slow.
I have his numbers. So his ERA is 4.13. He's 9-4, 80 innings pitched over 14 starts. And this is where I will look into advanced metrics slightly. His expected ERA is 5.23, and his Sierra, let me get that really quick, is 4.32. But he has had a pretty good, long track record of success, and he's kind of like what you described, a veteran, solid pitcher. And I obviously don't watch too much Cubs baseball, but like just from like the eye test, from what I see from him, he doesn't seem like a guy that would get too caught up in the moment, and I'm pretty sure his postseason numbers are good.
No, yeah, but also, Dan, I mean, I think we kind of have to mention, like, he is on the Cubs. The Cubs are doing very good this season. I don't know why they would trade him, especially if they plan on making a postseason.
That's true. I forgot the Cubs are doing well this year. So that's probably that's off the table, honestly, because especially because he has like multiple years of control. So I would actually forget about that.
But shout out to Easy Does with the $20 dono. I definitely agree. The Yankees do need a solid veteran pitcher. Dan, before we do wrap things up today, you have anything else you want to hit on?
Oh my God, we're wrapping these, bro. Every time you say we're gonna wrap things up, bro, I actually get sad.
Well, we said we are gonna do 9 to 10. So
is that what it is? Yeah, I mean, I don't have any topics. I don't think off the top of my head. I mean, do we want to talk about Aaron Judge's struggles, even though it's pointless kind of to talk about?
Let's touch on it. No, let's touch on it because it's just your guy, bro. Talk about Aaron Judge's struggles.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even too much really to go into because, like, I just want everybody to know, and like I feel like they always forget about this when it's Aaron Judge who's struggling. Bro, it's baseball. Like, this is just what happens. Like, players have hot streaks, and in Judge's case, a very long hot streak, which has just been his whole season. He's had a really good season. His numbers have fallen off a little bit because like the last 2 weeks he's hitting like I think 180 he's hitting. But what happened the last time everybody was talking about Judge struggling? He went on like one of the best offensive tears of any player this season. Yeah, like right after the Houston series. So I mean, he's going to get back on track. And what I said in the beginning of the show is so true. Like, we're starting to play well. The offense is clicking. Gary Sanchez is carrying us lately. Things are looking good right now. How good are they going to look when Aaron Judge starts hitting?
I know, and
just returning to the norm, not even
type streak, bro.
Which it's funny because like he's gone on like in terms of like in terms of like contact and just like, tremendous at bats. He had that stretch. He hasn't had that crazy power stretch. He had like that Baltimore series, and then like a couple games after that where he was hitting homers. Like he only has 15 home runs, which is still a damn solid amount. But like we do, like, it'd be nice to have that Judge stretch, bro, where he hits like 10 homers in 15 games. You know, not even just for his overall season stats, but like just what that would do for us offensively. And it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen, especially with like that's what's so surprising is that like one of Judge's worst cold streaks this season happens to come when offense across MLB is going up as a whole. And that's another thing too. Yeah. As for like the sticky stuff with the pitchers, like it's not just the Yankees. Like overall offense across MLB.
Oh, they said what, like 80% of pitchers, right?
Yeah. But like now that pitchers aren't using that, they like offense across all of baseball is going up. So it's a good sign.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I mean, let me ask you one more question about the whole Judge situation.
Me too.
I only have one. But do you think Judge is going to kind of return to form before or after the All-Star break? You think he's going to ride this into the All-Star break?
I would say before. Now, I mean, like when you say return to form, do you mean just like return to like good old Aaron Judge, solid,
Yeah,
like really good
I would say
player,
so.
like
Yeah.
I would say 100%.
I'm not saying like ridiculous hot streak where
Okay,
it's like, yeah.
I mean, it's baseball. I'm skinny, can't tell, but like if he doesn't return by the All-Star break,
Gun
I mean,
to your
like,
head, yes or no?
yes. Oh, yes. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Because like I can't see Judge being that bad if he's healthy, which he is, that bad for a long stretch of time. Like, because think about it, bro. Like, we're getting close to the All-Star break, but it's pretty far away still. I mean, I think that's like what, a good
like 3 weeks
games away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think like I actually wouldn't hate, to be honest, and I was thinking about this the other day. I wouldn't hate if they sat him tomorrow to give him 2 days off, because he doesn't get too many days off nowadays, really, anyways. I would give him tomorrow off, and then it's kind of like, I feel like if you have 2 days off consecutively, like it feels like that cold stretch is a while away and you're starting fresh. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't hate if they did that, and he's just too good to be this bad for a long time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But with that being said, I think that's going to wrap up episode 1 of the Pat and Dan Show. Dan's dropping baseballs left.
Yeah, bro, right on my computer.
You're good though.
I'm
didn't break anything. There you go.
But bro.
With that being said, let's give the viewers a little taste of what's to come. Every Monday, every Thursday, either if it's an off day, we're going to be going live at 9 p.m. If it's a game day, we're going to be going live directly after the game for about an hour. Pat and Dan Show. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. We're going to be going live on this channel. The first link in the description is to the Pat and Dan Show channel. Every day following when we go live, we're going to be uploading kind of like a produced version of the show, as well as clips on that channel as well. So be sure to subscribe to that. It is the first link in the description. Also check out all the other links in the description as well. Newsbreak, Discord, a bunch of fun stuff on there. However, before we go, shout out to Ruben Cruz with the $5 dono. He got a buzzer beater in there. He said, sorry, Pat, have Gardner derangement syndrome, LOL. Just saw the beginning of the show. Bro, it's not even that. Like, I don't know why I have to keep defending myself. I say this all the time. It's literally, it's not anything towards Brett Gardner. It's just towards the organizational treatment of him.
It actually shocks me because like you do have something against Brett Gardner. It's okay. You don't like him. Like you can not like players. Bro.
No, I don't like his significance on this team and how it kind of prevents other guys from getting opportunities and for the Yankees to improve their outfield. That's what
other guys isn't Clint Frazier. You know what it is?
Yeah, because I love Clint Frazier.
Yes, I was gonna say it's the perfect storm of not liking Brett Gardner and loving Clint Frazier. So like all in all, like you're not about him, bro. I just admit that, bro. And people are all of a sudden taking me as like some Brett Gardner stan. I come off that way because I defend him against you, who's like the biggest Brett Gardner hater, whether you want to admit it or not.
Just like how you hate bat flips, Dan.
Bat flips are disgusting.
Okay.
Postseason.
With that being said, we will see you guys on Thursday for episode 2 of the Pat and Dan Show live.
Follow on socials as well. Don't forget
follow the socials. All the socials are up here. Pat and Dan Show on just about everything. So stay tuned for all that content, bro. Historic first episode. You guys killed it. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Peace.